All too often when a horse changes workload, we riders will just increase or decrease their hard feed as we see fit to suit it. However, this can become a problem as supplemented feeds have been designed to provide the nutrients your horse requires only when they are fed at the recommended levels. Whilst doubling up on some nutrients may not cause any harm to your horse, we at Equifeast have found that doubling up on other nutrients such as magnesium can have a negative effect on your horse's performance and behaviour. In order to overcome this, Equifeast have designed a range of feeds and supplements which aim to put you in charge, allowing you to tweak your horse's diet as required, yet maintaining the core levels of supplementary vitamins, minerals and other nutrients. This is the CORE&MORE range. With so many formulations to choose from, there is something in the range to suit every horse, no matter their shape, size or routine. The CORE&MORE range is straightforward to use. First, you pick an unsupplemented fibre base, such as an unsupplemented chaff or some form of beet. Secondly, choose the core best suited to your horse's requirements and feed at the recommended levels. Thirdly, complement your initial choices with our range of mores at the rates required by your horse. As every rider knows, fibre is hugely important in the diet of a horse and should form the base of all equine diets. A large portion of the fibre given to horses comes from grass, hay and haylage. On top of this, horses can also gain fibre through chaff, beets, nuts and mixes in their hard feed. It is the unsupplemented versions of this second group of fibre sources that the CORE&MORE range is designed to be fed alongside.
We've tried to make the CORE&MORE range as straightforward to feed as possible by giving you these measuring cups. When looking to feed something from the range, all you need to do is find the strip that matches the feed you're giving. In this case, it's the more condition. And then you just take the amount required for your horse.
As you can see, we have 3 variations on the core. You will only need to choose one of these to feed your horse. All 3 contain our patented V-calculated calcium as well as a controlled level of magnesium. Equifeast have found these 2 nutrients combined at the right levels are key in achieving excellent behaviour. We begin our range with the core. This is our baseline core. It contains a fully comprehensive range of vitamins and minerals for general health, specific nutrients including biotin and amino acids for quality hoof and hair growth, V-calculated calcium and controlled magnesium for excellent behaviour, all on a tasty wheat germ base, with added dried carrots and sunflower kernels for palatability. The type of horse that the core has been designed for is those in light to medium work, and at a rate of only 50 grams for every 100 kilos of body weight, or 250 grams for a 500 kilo horse, it only makes for a small feed too. The core is designed to be fed 5 out of 7 days and can be fed alongside any of our mores should your horse have any specific dietary requirements. Next, we have LamiCore. This is a specialised version of the core, designed specifically for horses and ponies prone to laminitis. As well as containing everything in the core, LamiCore also contains a higher level of calcium, as anecdotal evidence from our customers has shown that V-calculated calcium has beneficial effects on horses suffering from hormone-related conditions. Psyllium has also been included, as it has been found to help in the regulation of insulin, and coconut for its omega-3 oils, which are great for joint health as well as coat condition. LamiCore has had some amazing positive results in horses and ponies prone to laminitis when used in conjunction with an appropriate management regime. As with the core, LamiCore is only fed at a rate of 50 grams for every 100 kilos of body weight, or 250 grams for a 500 kilo horse. LamiCore is designed to be fed 5 out of 7 days and can be fed alongside the mores, although the dose we would advise to give is likely to be lower than what we would use on a non-susceptible horse. If ever you suspect that your horse or pony has laminitis, then Equifeast strongly suggests consulting your vet. The third core is Winning Edge Core. As with our Winning Edge supplements, this comes in both a 5 and a 2-day product, so that your horse will be receiving nutrients 7 days a week, but only having the V-calculated calcium 5 days a week. Winning Edge Core offers everything which is provided in Winning Edge Gold, so there are vitamins and minerals for general health, nutrients for good quality hoof and hair growth, and V-calculated calcium and controlled magnesium for behaviour. On top of this, the Winning Edge offers nutrients for digestive, joint, stamina and immune system support. In order to supply your horse with all of these important nutrients, the Winning Edge Core is fed at a rate of 100 grams for every 100 kilos of body weight, or 500 grams for a 500 kilo horse. As with the other cores, it is designed to be used alongside our mores, should your horse have any specific dietary requirements. As with all of our VCal products, Equifeast recommends loading your horse on chelated calcium first. In the CORE&MORE range, the product you will need to use to do this is Core Starter. This is a powdered supplement which is just fed alongside the core of your choice for your horse's first 5 weeks. Horses which have already been loaded will not need this product. To complement the cores, we also have a range of complementary products called the Mores. There are currently 3 Mores, each of which can be fed at varying rates depending on your horse's requirements. All of these products are designed to be fed for 7 days a week. Firstly, we have More Condition. This is a high-fat feed which gives your horse all the nutrients they need to either put on or maintain weight, as well as providing a slow-release energy source, along with all the antioxidants to maintain health whilst metabolising fats. Despite looking like bird feed, it is actually highly palatable, mostly consisting of sunflower kernels and micronized linseed. As I said before, the More products can be fed at varying rates depending on your horse's requirements. More Condition can be fed at a rate of up to 200 grams for every 100 kilos of body weight, or 1 kilo for a 500 kilo horse. However, if you are only looking to maintain weight or provide a little energy, you can feed it at a much lower rate. Some horses may not require any at all. Next is More Oil. This is a cold-pressed linseed oil, and as with More Condition, More Oil can be fed to build and maintain condition, provide slow-release energy, as well as giving a lovely shiny coat. Being a linseed oil, More Oil also has great levels of omega-3 oils, making it much more beneficial than some others. The highest rate we would recommend for More Oil is 20 ml for every 100 kilos of body weight each day, the equivalent of 100 ml for a 500 kilo horse. This rate would only be required if you are looking to use the oil to contribute towards gaining weight. It can be fed at a much lower amount if you are looking to maintain weight or provide a little extra energy and shine. The final More in this group is More Muscle. This is a high-protein feed designed to provide all the nutrients your horse requires to both build and maintain muscle when fed alongside an appropriate training programme. The high levels of protein and essential amino acids provide the muscular building blocks, and antioxidants will aid the recovery process of the muscles following exercise. More Muscle has been designed to be fed at a rate of only 100 grams for every 100 kilos of body weight, or 500 grams for a 500 kilo horse. However, if you're only looking to maintain muscle, then you'll be able to get away with a much lower rate, and horses in light work may not need any at all. Now we have covered the basics of each product, let's look at some horses with varying requirements.
This is Hullabaloo. He is an 8-year-old Oldenburg gelding. He stands at 17.1 and weighs approximately 600 kilograms. He's had a late start to his career, so he's only been competing for a year due to the fact he had kissing spine. He's been quite a tricky personality to bring on, and therefore would like to see him through the winter with condition and more muscle tone, and not want him to drop any through the winter. Also at shows, he can become a little bit hot under the collar, so we'd like something that would just try and help him with that, as he gets quite anxious and tense when out and about.
As Hullabaloo is in hard work, we would recommend to put him on the Winning Edge core. He would need to be fed 600 grams of this each day. Alongside this, we would advise feeding 600 grams of More Condition and 300 grams of More Muscle. These rates are half of the recommended levels and can be raised if required. If Hullabaloo's workload was to increase, you could also introduce the More Oil. We would advise starting this at 50 ml, half of his maximum recommended volume. Depending on how his condition and energy levels go, this could either be increased or decreased in the future. As Hullabaloo gets stressed at competitions, we could also feed our Optimax product alongside this. Optimax is a short-term calmer for use at competitions and is perfectly safe to use with the CORE&MORE range.
This is Trio of Tricks. She's a 5-year-old ex-flat race mare. She's 16.1. She weighs approximately 525 kilograms. She's now back in full work, and I would ideally like her to keep her condition and the muscle that she's developed through the summer months now through the winter, so that she's ready to start her eventing season in peak condition in the spring next year.
For tricks, we would recommend feeding 260 grams of the core. Alongside this, 7 days a week, we would be giving 525 grams of More Condition and 260 grams of More Muscle. This is half her maximum rate, but should her workload increase or her condition drop, we can raise her intake in the future.
Hey, this is Iris. She's an 8-year-old 11-hand Welsh Section A pony who is true to breed type. She has to have her weight and her diet managed. I therefore need a feed or supplement that is going to allow all her vitamins and minerals to be given to her without making her too fat, and obviously increase the risk of laminitis.
For Iris, we would recommend feeding 125 grams of the Lamicore alongside an appropriate management regime. As she's a good doer, she's unlikely to need any of the mores, but this can always be kept in review for the future.
This is Roger. He's a 14.3 Welsh Section D. He weighs about 475 kilos. He is currently in sort of light to medium work with a bit of happy hacking and some schooling. I would quite like him to sort of remain calm throughout the winter and listen a bit more whilst he's being schooled, but I'd also like to build a bit of muscle and keep the condition he has.
For Roger, we would recommend feeding 230 grams of the core, along with 230 grams of more condition. This is simply to ensure that his condition stays up during the winter, as he is a poor doer. We would only recommend feeding 100 grams of more muscle, and this is because he is not working hard enough to make use of a higher rate. Should his workload increase, the level can be raised accordingly.
This is Henry. He's a 15.3 Welsh Part-bred Section D. He weighs approximately 525 kilos. Unfortunately, due to injury, he is retired, but throughout the winter, I'd quite like him to keep the condition that he's got, but also I'd like him to be a bit calmer in the stable as he doesn't like being in.
For Henry, we would advise feeding 260 grams of the core. We wouldn't recommend feeding any of the mores at the moment, as he's not in any work. This concludes our video on how to use the CORE&MORE range. If you have any more questions about our products or their feeding rates, then please have a look at one of our user guides or go to our website. Alternatively, you can send us an email at advice@equifeast.com or give us a call on 01453 836 974, and one of our advice team will be more than happy to help.